What's up, guys, and welcome to my series on how to get started in the washer and dryer business. I'm going to be doing weekly videos on how to get started in this business, tricks and tips for how to make more money in it. Please remember to subscribe because I'm going to be putting out videos on this weekly. What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode. I am still in the process of moving. My closing has been delayed for a week, so I'm all the way boxed up and ready to go. And no place to go, so I'm living out of boxes right now. As a result, I decided to do a bunch of regular house calls this last couple days. I did 4 just recently I wanted to talk about really quickly. House calls wise, I did a shaky washer, which is just the suspension rod swapped out. Quick $75 for the house call. I charged 20% over for whatever the part is. I think the part is something like $28 or something like that on Amazon, and so just a little bit more for that. I did a lid switch for a really nice lady that she had bought a washer for me about 2 years ago, and I'm sure it might have just broken over time, or it might have been someone dropped the lid and it cracked that little lid switch open. It's one of those that you can push back together, and I was able to push it back together and zip tie it, and I like to put a little bit of super glue back on the little edges that were glued down, and it was working fine, so I didn't even have to charge her for a part, and I charged her only $50 because she's a repeat customer. She's recommending they have passed, and she's just a really nice person. Sometimes, you're gonna cut some people some breaks. Besides that, heating element, super easy. It was a filter out the top machine, so I was able to just pop the back of the dryer off, pop a new heating element in. It was slightly stopped up behind the machine, and that's probably originally why it burned up that heating element. So fix that real quick, moved on after that one. Another quick $75 plus 20% more for the part. And the last one was for my buddy that had a Samsung very new dryer that usually I would not do as a house call because I don't like to do house calls unless I'm extremely sure that I can fix the machine and I have parts for the machine. I'd rather flip on, you guys know this from my channel, I'm a flipper more than anything. The majority of my appliance money comes from flipping machines. But he's my buddy. He just moved out of town. He rented this house and he sold his appliances on the way out the door to the renters that rented his house. And I got there, had that whole feeling of, I don't know how to open this machine up. I haven't done this before. What's going to be wrong with it? Is it going to be something electronic? It's Samsung. I hate Samsung. Got there. Guess what? It was easy. It was so easy. It was pretty much, other than popping the machine open and getting the drum out, that was about the hardest part. And it was pretty much, Samsungs are very similar to Maytag machines, except for like 4 times the amount of screws to get them open. But they're all Phillips, so with a drill you can get through it pretty quickly. It was just a drum roller. He had just replaced drum rollers before he left, and one of those drum rollers came unglued. And it's like they come into 2 pieces. I've never actually seen that happen. They come into 2 pieces. They're squeezed together around the rubber piece. The rubber piece fell, but they immediately turned the dryer off when it started making a noise. I was able to JB weld it back together, just did a thin layer and pushed it back together, so he had no cost for his part. But it's one of those, got to overcome your fears sometimes with these machines. I said one way to do it is when you're a flipper, it's easy because you get machines, you can just take them apart, put it back together, take them apart, put it back together, and like all of a sudden you're an expert when you did that about 4 times. And you just do that in your driveway. And then you get a random machine every once in a while you've never seen before, and you could try to fix it, or you could become an expert at the machine. In about 30 to 40 minutes, you can take the machine apart and put it back together, and all of a sudden, fear's over, you're good to go again, and you have a new machine that you are a master of, and you can just knock that out anytime you see it again. It's going to be, if it's been a while, it might take you a second, but most machines, it's all the same thing. Dryers are just drums that spin with a heating element behind them. They're not that complicated. Washers, pretty much the same way, but a couple different ways they use their suspension that changes things up. But guys, I did want to send a shout out to Miss Ward. I have checked out your channel. She has a lot of videos. I did just see your video on the compound effect, and I was very impressed with how quickly you are growing. And I wanted to put that out there, doing repairs this week. You can get so busy doing repairs that you can make so much money. Even, I recommend going through the Appliance Bootcamp and doing whatever Mike says to do. That is what I recommend. But even with just doing regular house calls, I think they call them cash calls when it's not a warranty program, is what Appliance Bootcamp calls it. Just doing regular house calls is fine, and there's so much money that could be made just by putting a few ads out there, just by getting the word out that you do appliance repair. And after you get good at fixing a few things, you can kind of wing it and figure out what is wrong with a machine. You can make a lot of money in that path. You know, there's flipping appliances like I do. There's being a repair person. Nothing wrong with that. There's unbelievable money in that. I recommend that too. There's what Ben, we did an interview with Ben not too terribly long ago where he takes appliances, he flips them, he sells parts on eBay. He makes a lot of money doing that. Different ways you can make money in this business. There's more than one way to skin a cat, you know? But she recommended The Compounded Effect as a good book to read. I'm going to give you 3 recommendations. One, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I definitely recommend this book. I re-listen to it every year. 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I'm a big Tim Ferriss fan. His podcast is really good too. And biggest one, and you've heard me talk about this one before, is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. That book absolutely changed my life. I had a major time management problem and did not realize it. And I think a lot of us have a time management problem, and maybe we don't realize it or we don't want to admit it. But that book, super small book. If you go get the printed copy, you'll see it's like this big. Not a very big book. Super thin book. You can shoot through it really quickly. I recommend getting Audible and listening to it over and over and over again. Every time I listen to it, I rehear something that I've been forgetting to do. And that book will absolutely change your life if you start implementing the simple plan in that book. Another one, if you want a quick extra bonus, is The Richest Man in Babylon. A very good book about pretty much the simplicity of don't spend all your money, save some of your money and invest it. That's the basics of it, but like the way they put it out is just really it's an older book. It's been around for a while, but I recommend getting all these books on Audible, and I absolutely recommend Audible. Miss Ward's listening to it. If you're in the car and you're a repair person and you are driving around, stop listening to bubblegum of the ears all the time. Not to pick on people's music, but like, guys, this music is great for relaxing. I listen to a lot of music, but you could have a full education. You can listen to the best books that everyone's talking about. You could be one of those people that talks about, oh, the book I just read. Audible exists. It's very inexpensive. It also pushes you. You know you're spending I think it's $14 a month, and I've been an Audible subscriber since like 2013 or 12. I've had it for a long. I've spent a lot of money on Audible, and let me tell you, I don't regret any of it. I get in my car all the time. I listen to Audible. I pop a new book in. I get excited about another one that just came out. I'll listen. You can listen to it on different speeds. You can and sometimes you'll listen to a narrator and they're a little slow, so you can pop it up a little bit and get through a book a little faster. And you don't know what you don't know, and you also don't know what book will speak to you. I don't like making book recommendations just because the book that speaks to me that changes my life will probably not be the book that changes yours. And the only way to figure out which book will change your life is just listen and read as many as you possibly can, because there is one out there that will absolutely get to the heart of the problem that you have. And it will be a surreal, unbelievable. You'll want to if you're listening to Audible, you'll want to pull over, you'll want to stop, rewind, and write it down. I've had that happen so many times listening to Audible books. It's crazy. But not to be too preachy, guys, but definitely educate yourself while you're in the car. Get yourself a good Audible education. Go through those business books. Go through them as fast as you can, as many as you can. And when you find that one that speaks to you, replay it and replay it and replay it. Get everything out of it. All right, guys, that's it for today. We'll see y'all next time. Please like, please subscribe. Later, guys. Hey, one more quick reminder, guys. Run by her channel real quick. It's Solid Steps to Wealth, and subscribe to her channel. Really cool to see her vlogs on her daily repairs and how her path is going. Just go check her out. She definitely deserves some more subscribers. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and please like, it really helps the channel. And if you want to subscribe, because I'm having a lot more of these videos coming out, click right here. I also have a playlist of all the washer and dryer, how to start in this business type videos that I made, and it is right here. Thanks for watching, guys.